Hi, my name is Maren. I am a spiritual health practitioner and energy healer. And today I wanted to reflect on the feeling I got when I was on a walk in the woods this morning. And the feeling or the realization is that everything comes from nature. Everything comes from nature. Especially everything comes from the sun and the amazing power of its light and heat that allows our planet to have the right amount of light and heat to grow all the plants that we see, and that the plants provide a foundation for the animals and the birds and the fish and everything around us. And all of the rocks and stones and minerals and everything that is on the earth is part of nature. But then what happens is we think that because we have, like, I'll take these eyeglasses of mine, that they just are like here, that they just show up. I order them from Amazon and here they are. And we don't really see the whole process that goes into making and manufacturing these. First of all, the human ingenuity that is definitely fueled by all the things that sustain you, like food and water and air and stuff like that, but also the other people around you that gave you an education and all that kind of stuff. So, but then there's like the energy that powered the plant, the manufacturing plant that made this, the people that assembled it, and then all the elements, especially plastic comes out of the synthesis of different kind of molecules. But also there's metal in here, and we have learned how to forge elements to make metal. And we find certain metals actually right in the earth, for example, gold and silver. So this eyeglass, even though I picked it up in a drugstore, people made it, still every single part of these glasses came from nature. And everything around us, my jacket, this camera that I'm looking into, all had its source in nature. It didn't just show up. It didn't just suddenly materialize. And so what do we do with that? I feel as though we're so disconnected from nature that sometimes all these things that show up in our lives, we just kind of think, well, blowy, there it is. And actually, maybe we don't really even think about it. But I'm thinking that what we might do and what we could do is remember that all these things come from nature. And we used to have a more intimate relationship with nature. We used to live a lot more closely with nature. And we slept on the ground, and we drank out of spring water, and we hunted, and we found plants and insects and eggs and all sorts of things to eat right in nature. Now we find those things at the grocery store. And but we used to have a much more intimate relationship with nature. And it was, right there when we were in the moment. And those of you who garden or hunt, maybe you know what I'm talking about. You're in the moment and you're plucking that blueberry, or you're taking those eggs out from underneath the hen. You have this immediate intimate relationship with nature. And it may be more intuitive in the moment like that to feel tremendous gratitude towards what you are growing, what you're finding, what you're hunting for, what you're fishing for. It seems like the structure we have now has made it a little bit harder, because we go to the grocery store and it's like the hens that laid the eggs, then the eggs get, put in a carton, and then the carton gets shipped to the grocery store, and then people who work at the grocery store put it on the shelf, and then we pick it up and someone rings it up for us, and we have 12 eggs. And nature seems to get lost in that, even though absolutely the energy of nature is right there in that egg and in everything that we see. Everything has come from this earth. So, there's a lot of people who think like, oh, we should get back to nature, or that we have this disconnect from nature, and that's leading to the way that we have treated the planet. And to a certain extent, all those things are true. But I am thinking, like, it seems so overwhelming to change modernity and how we live now, and what can we do, or one person. But I believe that energetically you can begin to reconnect this relationship that you had, and that's in your blood, it's in your DNA, to have this intimate relationship with nature. And so I believe the number one way that you can do this is gratitude. It's gratitude for the eggs that you get in the grocery store. It's the recognition that inside this orange that you buy, that the sun and the sunlight and the rain is in there, and you have gratitude for nature and the cotton fibers that are in my coat. I am being clothed by nature, and I say, thank you for clothing me. Thank you for feeding me. Thank you for supplying the timber for my house. Thank you for supplying the sand that makes the glass on the window. Thank you for giving me and everyone what they need in this life. Of course, we have more than what we need now, but it all comes from nature. It all comes from nature. And so to reestablish and feel that energetic and alive relationship with nature, say thank you. Be filled with gratitude for what nature is giving us every day.